right, good afternoon, Abuja. Thanks for joining us. And Citizen FM 93.7 here in the center of the city. How are you doing? How was your weekend? And for our brothers and sisters observing the Ramadan, how is it going? I hope you're cleansing yourself spiritually so that Almighty Allah can look on us with love and send down His blessings. And of course, my brothers too, is the Lenten season as well for the Orthodox churches. And I'm telling you, so much blessings all around. How is the sun biting down? I was sure when I stepped out of the house just some hours ago, I thought that with the rains coming in a few times, that the weather must have softened up a little bit. But that sun is harsh. How is it dealing with you? Yeah, we're Africans. It reminded me, some years ago, I was living in one cold country, and there was a time for 2 weeks I did not see the sun. I'm telling you, honestly, I wake up in the morning, the whole place was gloomy. I wait 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 1 week. I didn't see the sun until the next week. And one day I was lying down and I told myself, Ernest, it's like you have died. You are not living again. I missed Africa, I'm telling you, and I was very glad to be back in my country. I love Nigeria, okay? Every time you hear me say that, just know I mean exactly what I say. So if you want to jackpot, that is up to you. You can jackpot to anywhere you want to. But for me, this is my last bus stop. I love this place. I like it. I don't want to live in a place where I don't see the sun for 1 whole week, 2 whole weeks. I haven't seen the sun, and in a cold environment, my teeth are clanging against each other. All right, thanks for joining us this afternoon. And as you know, check your time. It's 11 minutes past 3, and this is where we look at the political issues. This is Politics Now, where we look at the events taking place in our country and how. What do we need to do? What do we need to tell our leaders to do for them to adjust their style so we, the people, can benefit more from the governmental programs and all of that they have put in place to make us better. The essence of being in government is for the people. And that is one of my guests here some weeks ago said that the political class are more interested in servicing themselves than in servicing the people. And this time around, with the knowledge we have now, we're going to stop them from doing that. I have already put Madam Ireti Kingibe on notice that as the senator who will be representing the FCT in the 10th Assembly, we are going to be on her heels to put fire in her bottom to ensure that she gets us what we need. She's not going there for herself, but for the people residing in the FCT. So thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm very sorry to inform you that my guest is actually a government official, and just a few minutes ago, I'm telling you, just a few minutes ago, I received a message from him that the minister with whom he works just gave him an urgent assignment, and so he cannot make it here. Very disappointing, but of course, on his behalf, I need to apologize for that. But not to worry, we are here together. This is our country. We know exactly the things that are going on, and we can talk about them, play with them, within the rules. You know, we don't like to insult our leaders. We shouldn't. We must respect them, but at the same time, it doesn't mean we cannot criticize them, to point them in the right direction of what they need to do to make life better for us, the citizens. They are not there to service themselves. We can't be hearing that our leaders, their children are benefiting and enjoying this and that, while the people who sweat and suffer, stay in the sun, pay their taxes, benefit nothing from the programs of government. So thanks for joining me this afternoon. Over the weekend, so many issues were going on. There was the issue of the telephone call between the Labour Party presidential candidate and the General Overseer of the Living Faith Church, aka Winners Chapel, and there's been making a lot of noise across the whole place. There was also the fining. There was a petition actually from the APC to the Nigeria Broadcasting Commission, which is why I tell you guys all the time that when I have guests here, there must be a control. When you call as well, there must be control. The petition, the NBC, I don't know if the NBC was reacting to that petition or that the NBC was reacting on its own, that they had a guest, the vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party, was a guest on the television show, and as a result of that, a TV station was slammed with a 5 million naira fine based on the things the vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party was saying on that program, things that were unbecoming actually of a vice presidential candidate. And I made allusions to that even before. That was on Friday, but on Thursday, I made allusions to that when I had a guest here, and I made the point that, look, from what I hear the vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party say, I don't understand whether he knows what his office entails if he becomes the vice president, that you must be diplomatic. I'm sure that those who listen to our show on Thursday will remember that. And just the next day, NBC were slamming a fine on a TV station where he appeared. So we know exactly what it is. As a broadcaster, as a radio television station, there are things people should not say on air. Like we always say, we do not have another country. If this one goes up in flames, we will become refugees in Ghana, in Benin Republic, Cameroon. Do you know what refugees are? In fact, right now we have our citizens who have been displaced by the insurgency going on. And if you hear their stories, you will know exactly what this is. They are refugees inside their own country. So there's a little bit of compassion. Imagine when you are a refugee in somebody else's country, far away from your home. You will know what it means when that happens. So at any cost, it is our job to maintain the peace in our country. Once there is peace, you may complain that the progress is not fast enough. That's okay. But at every point, on a daily basis, we are making progress. You may not see it. It doesn't have to show for people to see. It doesn't have to show on television. It doesn't have to jump out on radio. The point is, once there is peace within an environment, progress is being made no matter how small, and that is better than to have a chaotic environment. So that's what we are saying all the time, that people must learn that, look, if injustice, look, I've talked with friends before, and what I've realized is that every tribe, every ethnic group has suffered one form of injustice in Nigeria or the other. Nobody can say these people have been enjoying Nigeria, only them. A lot of people say, look at the president is Fulani, look at Fulani people doing this and that. I just look at them and I just laugh. If you know the injustice Fulanis have suffered, the Hausas have suffered, Yorubas injustice, Okwane people have suffered injustice, Edo, Igbos, just name it. So look, we need to begin to understand with each other and find the meeting point where we no longer have injustice, but we begin to have justice for all. And that's what we should be looking at, instead of pointing out, look, that was injustice to us. Everyone has suffered one form of injustice or the other, because the Nigerian system has not worked yet. And we're working towards that point where the Nigerian system begins to work and begin to yield benefits to the citizens, every single one of us. It is not a situation where the Yorubas are looking for benefits for themselves so that the Langtang people will suffer, so that thief people will suffer, so Idoma will benefit. No, it must be that egalitarian environment where everyone has something to go home with, and we can all smile with each other. And it's the politicians who actually the challenges that we have. They trigger up the negatives and the differences between all of us when it gets to time for them to benefit. Like the religious issues they threw up before and during the elections. All kinds of things going on, pastors going off the rails, talking and saying all kinds of things. And I begin to, is that what Christ said in the Bible? You know, so sometimes we just react emotionally and we begin to say, God showed me and all of that. We shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be giving the Almighty God a bad name. We shouldn't be doing that at all. When you are saying things based on your own emotions, you should defend it and stand on it. Should not allow politicians to begin to put a knife between all of us. We are one. This country belongs to us. This land belongs to us. And it is unfair for a group of persons to believe that only they deserve benefits. We all deserve benefits. Like the English people say, what is good for the goose is good for the gander. So I don't see any reason why Yorubas will say we are the ones to enjoy. Let Fulani people suffer. Or Hausa people will say let them enjoy. Let Kanuri people suffer. How does that work? How does that work? The minute a group of persons are benefiting and another group is not benefiting, it's a recipe for chaos, for problems. Nobody is going to sit down and watch somebody else enjoy and while he's suffering and just lie low. There must be agitations. Many years ago, I told somebody, I said, look, the Boko Haram insurgency, the banditry we see is as a result of years of neglect of a certain people. I do not support the actions they are taking by killing people, but if you look at the root causes of this, if some things have been nipped in the bud originally, we will not be here. I wrote a piece for the Vanguard newspapers some years ago, and I titled it "Poverty, Ignorance, and Illiteracy as the New Challenges of Our Democracy." That after defeating the military and removing them, sending them back to the barracks, it was now about time for our leaders to tackle the issues of illiteracy, ignorance, and poverty in our country, because those things militate against democracy. Democracy cannot work in an environment where there is so much poverty, there's illiteracy, and there's ignorance. And when I look back now, when you check how many of these three, which of them has our governments been able to tackle and say, okay, we are making efforts. We are talking about cash transfer and trader money, school feeding and all of that. Great. These are great ideas. Okay. But look, they need to be ramped up to a certain level because there's a backlog of things that were not done for so many years. So by now, these things have piled up so much so that the efforts government is making do not show. They do not show. During the years when Nigeria had so much money to take care of its citizens, it did not. People were busy stealing it. That is the truth. Leaders were stealing the money. Rather than laying the foundations for a great nation, they put it in private pockets. And now the people in power are telling us there is nothing. No. Then there is enough still. If there is prudence, if there is honesty, accountability, we can still work with what is available to achieve a certain level of development in our country. And we need to push our leaders to do that. And then one problem we have is this eye service, this defense. If an Igbo man is arrested now for doing something at the political level, Igbos will start pointing, what of that Yoruba man, what of that Hausa man, did you hold him? And look, these are the things that really hurt. We all don't come together and say, no, it doesn't matter what tribe or what religion that man is. He did something wrong and he needs to pay for it. If a Fulani man is caught doing something wrong, it doesn't matter. Look, let's deal with that as a nation. Let Fulani people join the rest of us to say, look, this thing you did, my friend, is wrong. We will begin to do that. You discover that the injustice we're talking about will begin to dissipate and we'll begin to have this great nation, this great country that we dream about. Our young people, even old people, from what I read over the weekend, that it's not just young people who are running away from Nigeria, but even grown-ups are doing that. Unfortunately, however, I know what they are going to meet in those countries they are going to. I've stayed in some of them. So it's not as rosy as they think. That you just get to a place, it's like electricity, you just plug in and your life transforms. It's a lie. It's deception. It's deception. It's a big deception. There's nothing like your own home, your own country. You may suffer, but I tell you, if you put a little more effort, you will see the gains. You'll see the gains. There are so many things our young people are doing here that are benefiting them, which are already in existence in some of these countries. So there is no new thing you're going to produce there. What new thing are you going to produce in America that is going to attract people to be running after you that is not already in existence? Like a man said, he said, Nigeria is a virgin land looking for people to create. If we target our minds at creativity in our country, you will discover there are so many things to create. So many. I've asked a question here before. Why are we importing solar panels from China when this heavy sun was biting at me as I was coming to the office? We have so much sunlight. We need to create a way to make solar panels in Nigeria. We need to begin to challenge ourselves. All the young men and women studying electronics engineering, triple E like they call it, you need to begin to think about what to do with that. How do we harvest this sunshine all through the year and use it for something beneficial to our society? We keep crying, there is no electricity. I come to the office sometimes, I have to run up the stairs because there is no electricity. Why? When there is sunshine, we should have a solar-powered lift working here. That's a virgin area. If you go to the US, that is not going to work. They have 24-hour electricity in Canada, in UK. So, this is a virgin land for us, and we need to begin to see the good in it. I'm on some groups in WhatsApp, and you need to hear what some people say about Nigeria. It always annoys me. So if you're one of those who talk against Nigeria, please don't come near me. I don't want it. This is my country. I love it. No matter how bad it is, this is my land. And I'm willing and ready to give my best. And if everybody makes up their mind to do that, you will discover the little we contribute individually will amount to something, and will move our country an inch ahead. You should be ashamed. You should be. The Canadians built Canada. Americans built America. The British built the UK. And their grandparents possibly did that for them. It is our job to build Nigeria for the generations behind us. If we keep running away, who is going to do that? Imagine that Nelson Mandela ran away from South Africa many years ago when he was in trouble. Even when they offered him so many things, he refused to leave the prison. See, until you set my people free, I'm not living here. So people must learn to make sacrifices. Nigerians, who is going to make, is it on my head they're going to break a coconut for everybody to eat? What is wrong with that? You didn't read about Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr.? They died for black people to be free in America. So the African person wants to do one bag, wants to go to party and eat chicken and the drink and all of that. One day, you will still die. And in a very short time, your name will be forgotten, erased, unknown, unremembered. People don't know that. But I tell you, in American history, the name of Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X is going to be there forever. If we discuss democracy in Nigeria, I'm telling you for years to come, the name of MKO Abiola is going to be there. The man was very lucky after all the enjoyment he did. As if it were the last thing he was going to do, he just entered politics. And whether by whatever means, the military did what they did, but Abiola's name is going to be down in history as a man who died for democracy. You can't erase that. It's his gift. He earned it. He will still have that. Who knows if Abiola will still be alive by now, So you will still die, whether you run to Canada or you run to America. One day you will sleep and not wake up. And that is the reason why people who understand discover that it is better for your life to mean something than to just live, enjoy, and one day you just become food for the worms, and they will search for you and you will not be found. Your name will not be anywhere in history. Nobody is mentioned it. In 3 years, 4 years' time, nobody remembers you again. Imagine all of that. With all the money you made, all the music or whatever you did and all of that, you will not be remembered because you never made any sacrifice. I think that's what the young Nigerians and those people who run to the US are doing. I was asking myself when I was in a foreign land, what am I doing here? Is it because of money? I discovered, no, money is not everything. You eat, you drink, or whatever. The man who does not eat, he does not drink, what happens? You may live a few years more than the person, but one day you join the person too, you too will die. So you begin to ask, at the end of the day, at the end of time, they weigh your life together. They discover that the man who died at the age of 30 is even more relevant than you who died at 80. So in 50 years you live more than this person. Of what value was it to humanity? I believe we need to begin to ask these questions. We need to begin to search ourselves and begin to find the value to add to life so that when we live it, we know that we have made the earth a better place than we met it. I think that is the ultimate reason why God created us, to make the world a better place than we met it. Not just to, some people think it's to come here and pose. You see people on WhatsApp, on Facebook, on Instagram. I just bought a new Lamborghini. I just bought this. I just built a house. When I see some of those things, I just laugh. I say, look, these people, they don't even understand what life is about. Life is to eat and drink and enjoy and buy cars. One day, you sleep, you don't wake up, those cars will be here. People who don't know the value will go and use them to get accident. And that is the end of it. So I think our leaders must begin to understand that it is the sacrifices they make for the people that actually give them the right to be where they are, not just the money they amass for themselves and use cars to be intimidating the people. And we Nigerians, we must stop worshipping wealth. You see, once you just see somebody who rank a day, they begin to fall around and fall on the ground as if there is something special. There is no big deal. There will always be something to eat, I believe, that's what I think. If you scratch a little bit more, there's no need of fawning over people because the monies, you don't know how they made them. Stealing from the people, a man who stole from the people, you are worshipping him and fawning around him. Sometimes isolate someone whose source of wealth we do not know. You begin to let them know that your wealth means nothing when you have not added any value to your environment. The mansion you're living in, I'm not sleeping in the house with you. So why should I be bothered that you have a big house? It's for you and your family. It's not for me. It's for you and your family. So why should I come and be worshiping you? We are equals. It's only a man who gives to you that you can fawn around for. I think we really need to begin to think about these things and begin to plan and see that we have a virgin land before us here, a great land, a great place. A couple of friends have come to me and they come, why did you actually come back to Nigeria? And I've just been laughing. I say, look at this. This is my country. You want to be a refugee in somebody else's country? You know what they call you? An immigrant. Whoa. I hate that name, immigrant. You just speak English like this. But somebody's telling me in Nigeria, I say, look, your language is so nice. I like it. I just laugh. I was speaking like this in a certain country, and they can hear my accent. That this man is not from here. This man is an immigrant, and a little immigrant. And look, I don't know. Maybe most of our people, they don't have such pride in them. So you are ready to accept all kinds of insults. I'm a full-fledged citizen, whether there's money in my pocket or not. I just walk down the road with pride for that. No policeman, immigration officer, or customs, or whoever can just come and talk to me the way they like. When I'm not committed an offense, I have my vehicle particulars always ready. The fire extinguisher, razor blade, water, and all those things, spare tire, and all that. And so look, walk down the street like a law-abiding citizen without fear. You are not guaranteed that when you are not living in your own country. You could be plucked off the streets and somebody treats you the way they want. I'm sorry to say this, but I remember, it's a prominent person in Nigeria in the sports area, had a son schooling somewhere, and the boy was involved with a girl from that place, and another boy from that country was interested in that girl. One day he met this guy on the 17th floor of a building and threw him down, smashed to pieces. A Nigerian child schooling in another country threw this young man down from the 17th floor, and the parents were here struggling to even get visa. Before you could get visa, weeks and weeks have passed before you get the police tell you one story or the other, and the story is over. Look, people don't understand. You want to brag, my son is schooling in Cambridge and all of that. Look, the Christmas Day bomber, what is his name again? Abdul, what is his name? I'll remember before I'm done. He's still in jail in the US. What happened? He was being pampered, from my own understanding, by his parents, sent him abroad, all kinds of places and all of that. They didn't know he was getting involved with people they did not know. So it's important that we live with our children, stay with them here. Nigeria is not the worst country in the world. Read about America. As at the 29th or 30th of March, I'll check. Within this week, I'll check for this week. As of the 29th of March this year, there have been 130 mass shootings in the U.S. already. And the U.S. defines mass shooting as a shooting incident involving 4 people being killed or injured. At least 4 people must be killed before it's a mass shooting. If it's only 2 people, it's not mass shooting. So they've had 130 this year alone, 2023, between January 1st and 29th of March. They won't tell you all of that. Your country is not the worst country in the world. It's a great country, if you ask me. So many great things going on. So many things happening. We are looking forward positively to the inauguration of a new government in just a few weeks from now, with a new spirit, new energy. And if we all put our hands together, our bands together, I'm telling you, great things are going to happen. If you begin to have a negative spirit, then you will not benefit from that. So it's important to focus your mind positively and just move on. Whether it will be Kwankwaso, Atiku, or Tinubu, who is there, you don't know any of them before. You've never met them. There is nowhere it is written that if Obi is there, he will do better than Atiku, or he will do better than Tinubu. So what you do as a citizen is to fall in line, contribute your share, pray for your leaders, support them. And you will see that that positive mentality will begin to yield positive for you. When you're already negatively minded, be getting angry, you are bitter. It is my person who should be there. Look, Atiku will be Tinubu. None of them is my person. I'm telling you, none of them personally. That it's the kind of attitude I've developed. None of them is my person. Anybody who God puts in that place, I adopt him and I support, and let's go with a positive spirit. This is my country. I love my country more than any politician. So look, why should I be crying because the person I voted for did not win? I voted for him. The other person, they say, had more votes. Okay, no problem. Let's go. That's the spirit we should be adopting, rather than pulling people down and making negative comments and complaining and disrupting your country and killing it and sending messages that will send negative impressions across the whole world, everywhere. Who benefits from that? If you go to the US now and they say Nigerians are bad people, you are a part of that. You are a part of that. You may think you are hurting those in power, but you are hurting yourself in the process as well. And if you go to that place and they say Nigeria is such a great country, and when they see Nigerians, they want to welcome and receive them positively, you will equally benefit from that. So guys, look, I don't know, for me, I mean, possibly because I have stayed in somebody else's country and I understand what it means to be a stranger in a strange land, and so that helps you to value what you have the more. Like they say, you see, you don't miss the water until the well runs dry. So maybe a lot of people have never left Nigeria to understand what it is like to be a stranger, to be a refugee. When you travel to Ghana and you go to Ghana, you don't have any place to stay, and Ghanaians know that you're running from war in your country, you will see the treatment you'll get, as close as we are with Ghanaians. Not to talk of when you are a refugee in somewhere where they don't even know about your country. Go and ask Ukrainians right now. Ukrainians are leaving their comfortable jobs in other parts of Europe to go back to their war-torn country, to die for it, to make it free. You should ask yourself, why are they doing that? They know the value of their own country. And I think Nigerians will must begin to know the value of our country and begin to support her, support the leaders, and move forward. Nobody can sit on the chair if the Almighty has not ordained the person to be there. So let's not begin to fight a battle we will lose, okay? There is absolutely no need. Allow God's time to evolve. And look, before you know it, you just suddenly discover that the system begins to pan out and favor you. 93.7 Citizen FM. I'm hanging here alone. Unfortunately, Dr. Ejike Oji, special assistant to the FCT minister on health, actually, was supposed to be here with me, but at the last minute, as is usual with government assignments, he was given an assignment he couldn't run away from. But I guess maybe before the week runs out, he'll be here to apologize himself. But on behalf of him, I have to apologize to you for his not being here. But notwithstanding, let's begin to learn to cultivate that love for our country, our home. I've made this analogy before. I have never seen a poor man's son who denied his parents and rushes off to the richest man in the village and say, "You are my father." I don't know. Maybe it has happened. I don't know. But I mean, it will be rare. You see those women, they say they have mental issues. You see the children they're holding. They hold on to their mother. They cling onto that dirty, smelly woman, I'm telling you. And then you see this perfumed, beautiful-looking, bejeweled woman passing by. They don't run to her. Why is that? So that's what we're saying. No matter how tough, no matter how difficult it is, this is our own. This is our own country, Nigeria. And we need to hold on to her. We need to give it our all and believe that in a few years from now, all the people running away will be begging. I'm saying that with emphasis, to rush home. I mean, in fact, even now, so many people, I see people who haven't come in home already. They know when people look down at you, I mean, you're living in a foreign country, probably you're making money, supposedly, but that's where you discover actually that money is not everything really in life. That money, there are so many things money cannot buy. There's so many things that money cannot buy. There are poor families now, husband and wife having problems, issues, and the man will say it's because I don't have money. My wife wants to leave me for a rich man. You know, do you know that Bill Gates' wife left him? Do you know that Elon Musk, I think he's the richest man now, is back at it again. Been married 4 times, I guess. Jeff Bezos, Mackenzie McDonald also left him when he was the richest man in the world. So it means that it's not money. It's not money. So you can complain and see how you like, it's because I don't get money. And even some women even say, see, he doesn't have money, this poor man. But I tell you, there are so many people, when you see how they live, not much money, but you know, when the husband and wife just have this rhythm, this understanding with which they live within their means, I mean, you envy them. The last time I heard, there's this former president of the US, that's Jimmy Carter. I understand he's not feeling too well right now. We pray for him. He's very old now. I think they celebrated 76 years of marriage, I think a year or 2 ago. So that means about 78, 77 years of marriage now. Can you believe that? When I heard that, my head went, whoa, 76 years married. 76 years, that's a lifetime. Some people don't even live that long. Can you imagine that? Being married for 76 years. About 77, 78 now. And I said, wow. So many challenges in there, I tell you. So many difficulties. But you know, they found a way to work them out and stay together. Amen. Those guys, I wish I could institute an award myself and just give it to them, because man, I know what that means. Wow. Not today, you know, these young ladies before, just jump out of the door. After all, there was one man telling me there that I look fine, and you say I don't look fine, so I want to run. It's not a laughing matter, I know, but sometimes when you hear the frivolous things that people talk about, we are not compatible. And you were jumping through the window one time and say, if I don't see this person, I will kill somebody. Look, it's so funny, you know. 93.7 Citizen FM on a Monday afternoon with the sun blazing down here in the big city of Abuja. My name is Ernest. How are you doing today? Okay. I don't know. Okay, maybe you want to share some time. Okay, maybe let me hear your voice, man. If you want to say something about our country, I would really love to hear from you. Honestly, Jerry, Mike, Suleiman, all those my radio friends, and any other person. Bode, yes, I remember Bode as well. Bode, are you there, or you're doing something? Yes, you could join me. Give me a buzz here in the studio, 0903-222-9797. I'll soon be jumping out of here. We have some scheduled listings coming, so if you think you want to see something, maybe you are not happy I'm saying we should not jackpot, you are angry about that, you can share your ideas with me, that it's better to run away than to stay here in this whatever you want to say about Nigeria. It's Citizen FM, where all the ideas are welcome so long as they are not insulting. Yes, that's my producer. Fred, do you want something? Okay, he says he doesn't. So, okay, so we can still do this. You can give me a ball, 0903-222-9797, 0903-222-9797, or 0818-2222-205, 0818-2222-205. I'm counting that to be sure I'm correct. Yes. So you can join me. Let's share. Okay, I guess I'm getting a call here. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hey, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Ernest.
Yeah, who is online, please?
Yeah, my name is Michael calling from Nasa. You just mentioned my name, man.
Yes, I did, Mike. I know you are one of my very good friends here on this show, so I have to mention your name. Any day I'm going to write a story about this show, I'm going to include your name there as one of my important friends. Yeah.
I know. It's not today you started, even when you are on the other side.
Is that so? I didn't know that.
Okay, Stanley Bento will tell you more about that.
Okay, that's fantastic. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Yes. Let me hear you. Let me hear you, Stanley. Mike.
Yes. Japa, as you started.
Okay. You are more interested in the Japa. Okay, let me see. let me spread my paper and take some notes from what you are saying. Okay, go ahead.
Well, your advice is a very good one, and I can tell you that us. I mean, when I say us, the masses are not the problem of things not working out in our country.
Okay.
The problem we have is because we have not been able to get our leadership, right.
Okay.
And when I say getting our leadership right, in the sense that a lot of them travel out, am I right?
They do.
This is our leaders.
They do.
All of them, they travel out. And then they see how things work in other places. And then sometimes what we are asking for, we are not asking too much, if you ask me.
That's true.
Because if you give us a constant electricity, bring industry here, establish it, the people will be employed, engage themselves. I can assure you that when you are done with all of these things, and then people can wake up and go to their working place and then come back in the evening, nobody will even have any time to commit any crime. Because the crime will not be there for you to commit. You have your job doing, because you have a job, you understand, you have one thing or the other doing, what we're asking, we're not asking too much. Give us electricity, give us good roads, build a refinery for us. All these things that you think that is not work, education are important. The head, you understand, head. When you address some of those things we're talking about, the transportation, the welfare, you understand, all of these things, address our economy, then nobody will bother anybody. You go and do your things. You understand? Those who are artisans will do their things, So I think our leader needs to understand that we, the citizens, who are not asking much, what we need is all these things that some of them travel out to go and see. Some of them go there, enjoy hospital there. Why can't you bring it here? Is it not a human being that did it here? Those people who build those places you are traveling at, they doesn't have to here. You understand? Even if he doesn't know how to do it, a leader must not be able to do everything. But you must be able to have an expert to be able to direct and give them the instruction on what to do. They will get it done. So for me, until when we get our leadership right, that is the only time. Because we live by example. If our leaders are living, life of emulation, people will emulate that. Let me give you one instance. When President Muhammad Buhari come on board, you understand, in 2015, you can remember what happened. What happened? They say this man is no-safe man. You understand? He doesn't joke. He doesn't do this. He's a corruptible man. And then, I tell you, those who are not be going to work between 8 o'clock, they started going to resuming their work at 6:30. Hello?
I'm hearing you are on. Go ahead, please.
So within 6:30, They are in the offices. Why is it so? Because they think that a man who take no nonsense are there, have come. You understand? But when they wait, within the 1 week, 2 weeks, and then 1 month, 3 months, and 6 months, this man are not appointed minister, everything just goes. People just begin to relax back. You understand? Until we get a leader who have what it takes. You understand? And then a political way to be able to drive our economy and so many things. You understand? That's the only time even those who are trying to jabber will not be jabbering.
Okay, Mike, I want to thank you so much. I wanted to ask you a question, but I don't know your credit level, whether we can keep you on air to look at that, because some people say that some leaders may have very good intentions, but when they get there, so many things start to pitch them. People begin to ask for this, do this for our village, do this for that. My friends give them contract, give their children jobs and stuff like that, and then the man gets derailed. I don't know whether those are the things that affect our leaders and make them to lose focus and lose direction. Anyway, thank you so much, Mike, for joining us this afternoon. He said so many things there, but I think I wrote this one down. I see the problem of Nigeria is leadership. Our leaders travel and see how things work, but refuse to implement same when they come back home. Fantastic. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my brother.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Is this Sulaiman?
My name is Sulaiman.
Sulaiman, you see that? I know your voice already.
Yes, it is their topic, like they give Nigeria advice to follow.
No, I'm just look, see, Sulaiman, let me tell you, when I was living in another person's country, when I was living there, the idea was I must come back to my country to contribute, to let my people know that it is not better elsewhere, that our country is good enough if we work hard to make it better. That is the truth.
Yes, our country, Nigeria, I like Nigeria is very good country. But you see, now people where they give our leaders advice.
Okay.
Now advice leaders. You see, our president get good advice to make Nigeria better. You see, like now, if they make anybody to make make you not get anything from outside. Come and make your factory. Make all the factory where you get, make it do for Nigeria.
Okay.
Or for your state. You see, our leaders majority get a factory for outside, as Nigeria.
That's true.
If all those our leaders will get company, they put some youth for work. Nigeria will get to work 30,000, 40,000 they do for Nigeria. He go to help himself, but he will carry all your company go for abroad. Go for outside, do down. We go make our Nigeria some youth to go to hungry then to go up. Like this our Jagaba.
Okay.
You know, many companies there for Nigeria.
Okay.
Where some company why you know. Where many youth they benefit for the company.
Okay.
If it's some governors.
Hello, Suleiman. Oh, we lost Suleiman there. This Suleiman is a real Ashewaju man, I'm telling you. But that's very good. I agree. Over the weekend, I read 3 young Nigerians buying clubs in Portugal, in England, and whereas they were buying football clubs, investing money. And I was very, very angry. I thank you, Suleiman, for reminding me of that. And I was just wondering, I mean, Alhaji Aliko Dangote made a mention one time he wants to buy Arsenal. I said, no, there is another Arsenal in Nigeria here already, Bendel Insurance. Go and buy them. Just 1% of the money you use to buy Arsenal, just put it in Bendel Insurance. Or, I mean, that's my favorite Nigerian club, actually. Or any other club you love in Nigeria. And look, you see the benefits to Nigeria. My producer is standing over my shoulders now. He's telling me, Ernest, your time is up in the studio. Okay, Fred, I heard you are the soldier. You're chasing me out of here. All right, and so that's about where we will pull the curtains onto this edition. Don't worry. Once in a while, we'll be having this kind of time like this for us to just share ideas together. I want to thank you so much for listening. Even if you didn't call, it's okay. But I want to thank Mike and Suleiman for taking our time to share their ideas. As we go within the weeks, some days we'll be taking these things down. We'll be just reading them out to guide our leaders. I say we look forward to maybe Ashiwaju being sworn in and the new senators, new governors and all of that. We'll read some of the challenges Nigerians are putting before them as an agenda setting mode for their new leadership, for Ireti Kingibe, because now it's not for them to put monies in their pocket, it's to use it to serve us. My name is Ernest. Fred Nice, thank you so much for the work you do. I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful day and be a good citizen. Bye-bye.
This call to prayer is sponsored by the Nigeria Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs.